But I want to start by asking you what party you belong to now.
ADC.
You have resigned from the Labour Party.
Long time ago. And you were aware of it.
Well, you said you supported the Nnamdi Usman-led.
Sure.
So that was also the Labour Party.
No, but I resigned.
Okay.
And like I told you, Labour Party has become a housemaid for APC. And I do not look like a houseboy. You know what is going on now? If you ask me, I said they now want to give Labour Party another lease of life because they have seen that the coalition, which they never thought will work, has worked. And all the opposition leaders are together.
Let's talk about this coalition.
So the issue now is that they now want to go again and recognize any leadership Labour Party will bring, so that they will use it as distraction to some members and, of course, unsuspecting members of Labour Party, so that they will think that they have their Labour Party. And they'll be making some foolish demands on the ADC. And you know, as always, I do not succumb to the blackmail of the intimidators and manipulators. And you know what? I cannot possibly be apologizing for the ignorance of the people who want you to do something that will not even be good for the system.
In the ADC, is Peter Obi your principal in the ADC?
My principal?
Yes.
In the ADC?
Yes.
Sorry.
Would you be working towards him getting that presidential ticket?
Now, let Peter Obi register first as a member of ADC, and I will answer that your question. Because as I'm talking to you, I know he has not registered as a member of ADC.
Why do you think that is?
No, when you see him, you ask him. I am a member of ADC. So
we do have quite a number of people going through that particular dynamic in the ADC.
Yeah.
We saw all of them at the launch, but then many of them haven't left their original political parties. Maybe you can't speak for them particularly, but in your view, as someone who's a politician, is there a reason why somebody would be taking their time before making a decision to join a party that they say they're part of the coalition of?
Right. Now, as a politician, I can talk about myself and what I believe in. I had told Nigerians that I do not put my two legs on two different platforms. And that's why I don't defect. I will resign from one before going into another. Good. So whatever any politician says, you take him by his words. Because I would never swear for any politician, because I don't want to die before my time.
If Peter Obi actually resigns from the Labour Party and takes up membership of the ADC, would you be working together?
One, that is a hypothetical question.
Yes.
And I'm reluctant in answering hypothetical questions. But let me tell you my strategy going to 2027. First and foremost, in 2023, we believe that it was the turn of the South, and we battled it. As a matter of fact, I started planning it from 2019. When I entered APC, I made it clear, Ndibo for Buhari 2019, Buhari for Ndibo 2023. As at that time, Peter Obi was a vice presidential candidate to Atiku. And I said, I'm not going to support that ticket. Because if I support that ticket, that means the North will have the presidency for 12 years, unbroken. I am surprised that the same people who were supporting that ticket...
16 years?
Well, Buhari did 4 years then.
Okay.
And then I now said, no, we should allow Buhari to finish his 8 years.
Okay.
Because if you vote Atiku and Obi, that means a northerner transferring power to another northerner, and they will spend 12 years. I'm surprised that the same people who were against me then are now again saying that power cannot return to the North after 4 years. In 2023, I campaigned for the same Peter Obi. If Peter Obi and Atiku had won in 2019, there wouldn't even be a chance for anybody from the Southeast to contest the presidency in 2023. Because by 2023, there would be no incumbent. And the only chance that a Southeast person would have is when there is no incumbent. And then I have now learned from 2023 that in Nigeria, when you win election and you don't have the power of the establishment supporting you, they will take it away from you. Do you know that Southwest has never contested any election when there is an incumbent? From 1999 to 2027.
So for 2027?
Yes. That's where I'm going. Now,
because based on what you're saying,
yes,
battling an incumbent in 2027 is futile.
Very futile if you are from the South. You cannot use a fresh candidate from the South to defeat an incumbent from the South. Atiku and Obi failed because they were trying to battle an incumbent northerner with another northerner.
So the person to battle Tinubu, in your view, is a northerner?
In my own view, if you even want to make any impact. So all these people that are telling you, zone this thing to the South, zone this, they are simply telling you zone it to Tinubu. And I'll give you an example. In PDP, all these people now saying that PDP must declare 2 years beforehand that they should vote, that they should zone the stuff to South. In 2023, it never mentioned that you should zone to the South until after the primary election of PDP, which they lost, and when they were not chosen to be the vice president. And I'm talking about Wike. He never mentioned that they should zone it to the South in 2023. And now he's saying 2 years before the time that you must zone it to the South. And this is the same person that has told you he will work for Tinubu in 2027. So anybody telling you you must zone any ticket to the South is telling you you must zone it to Tinubu. Because how can you use a fresh Southerner to defeat an incumbent Southerner? That person is either intellectually disorganized or ignorant or lacks political strategy. Politics is not about sentiments, it's about strategy.
Before we go on the break.
Now, look at what Tinubu did in 2015. Tinubu, do you think he didn't want to be president in 2015? But he knew it would be futile if he had gone to contest with Goodluck Jonathan. So he went and brought a northerner that had the court figure that has retired from politics. Whether his brain is working or not, he went and brought him and supported him and used him to defeat Goodluck Jonathan. And now, when there is no incumbent in power, he now came in. And then he used the support of the establishment to support himself. And whatever result they declared, they say he won. I believe we won that election in 2023, but it was taken away from us. So you don't expect to do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. Do I look like a madman to you?
So when we hear Peter be saying he's going to run in 2027,
yes,
Rotimi Amechi, same thing, and then of course everyone is talking about Atiku.
Yes.
How do you feel about those? Because it feels like almost every major player is trying to become president in the ADC. It is expected. Okay.
And there's nothing wrong with that. When we were going into coalition, I told people that we are united in going into coalition, but our differences will come when individual ambition comes. That is politics. There's nothing wrong with that.
Would these individual ambitions, in your view, rock? Because it's a lot of ambition from a lot of strong people. Yes. How do you keep it together with all these very strong people?
It's very good. There is only one way to keep them together. Conduct a free, fair presidential primary election. And whoever wins, every other person will support the person. Any politician who is scared of going into presidential primary election and leaves ADC because of it to another party is an agent to get Tinubu re-elected.
But you see, I'm referring to some things that we just heard recently. We heard Dele Memodu talking about how much they were, $30,000 we're hearing for delegates, you know. So
good.
Now that you have these very many players, their wealth is not the same.
Good.
How is the influence of money going to affect how you pick a presidential candidate in the ADC if these primaries hold?
Very good. In politics, you have discretionary expenses. You have mandatory expenses, meaning you must have minimum amount of money in order to even operate. So anybody telling you he doesn't give money in politics is a liar, because there are mandatory expenses you must have to carry out.
Would the deepest pockets have more influence?
Now, wait a minute. You have 176,000 polling units. You expected to have polling agent in all of them, even if you want to give them 20,000 for them to transport themselves on that day to go. Check it and tell me how much it is. So what I'm trying to tell you is that there is basic amounts that you know you will spend. In 2023, I know what we suffered. We didn't have agents in some of the polling units, and it was part of the reason they stole our election. Now in 2027, if you are a candidate, you must have to prove to me that you would have to be able to provide for those things. Presidential election is not for boys, it's for men. Now, you heard that amount. I heard it too, and I chuckled. And then, if you say you want to go into presidential primary, and you say, no, these people, they will outspend you. These people, they will... Let me ask you, does the presidential primary make you the president? So if you're afraid they will outspend you, how come you shouldn't be more afraid of the general election when an incumbent will outspend you for more than 100%? In 2027, I will no longer want to hear a candidate telling me that in this primary, I won't participate because it is dollarized, because it is... Then don't try to compete with an incumbent. So it's either you are able as a leader to influence your leaders, to influence your followers through inspiration, to convince them to vote for you, despite the fact that you didn't give them money. That is part of leadership. Or step aside, because fighting an incumbent is different from fighting when there is no incumbent. The incumbent have the resources of the state. He has the security forces of the state. And then you're saying, oh, give me tickets in the primary. Oh, these people will outspend you. And you want to go to a new party where they will give you the ticket. And when they give you the ticket, you will go and waste it. Because that does not make you president. It is the general election. So an incumbent that has the resources of the state, and you say you are afraid in the primary, and you're going to meet him, you're going to waste that presidential ticket.
We have to go on a break. When we come back, we'll be talking about the prospects of an Igbo presidency. Also, taking a look at what your plans are, because you must be in this for a reason. So please, stay with us on Hard Copy. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Hard Copy right here on Channels Television. If you just tuned in, Barrister Kenneth Okokwo is here with us, a member of the ADC, and in it to win it, apparently.
Very well.
Nice to have you here with us.
Thank you.
Do you have any ambitions in the ADC?
Well, like I said, any politician that has entered politics can no longer pretend he's not interested in power. I want to help to bring about a president. That is what I want to do. In 2023, that's what I concentrated on. Do you know, in 2023, they asked me, some of my people, to come and pick the senatorial seat and run, that this wave will see me through. I told them, but you know, I'm not interested, not for now. Because if you pick and become a senator under a corrupt and incompetent president, all of you will come back spoiling your names. And that's what is happening now. I don't understand this regime. Any arrangement to take out this regime, may God bring it.
Should they be scared?
They're already scared because they are chickens.
They say people are overused, overspent, or over-recycled, and that you're not hungry in your stomach. You're hungry for power. You're using the Nigerian people. Using our genuine hunger, they say. Using our genuine hunger for good governance to come into power. You're just looking out for yourselves, and that they can serve by the antecedents of the members there. That perception issue, even if it's coming from the presidency, the truth is there is a perception issue. We're looking at a lot of your members. They've been in power for a very long time. David Mark, Shehu Sani, very succinctly put it. He said David Mark used to be governor when he was a boy in Niger State, when he was in secondary school, and they used to wear their school uniforms to welcome him into the state. And he used to tell them they were the leaders of tomorrow. Meanwhile, he's still actively in politics. That perception issue, how are people going to deal with that?
Very good. You know, in law, you cannot go to equity with dirty hands. How can a party that foisted such a man that was even incoherent when we were doing campaign point a finger to another party? Do you know what? When Obasanjo was trying to go, he wanted to transmit power to the younger generation. He gave Umar Yar'Adua in his 50s, gave Goodluck Jonathan in his 40s, 50s. Who tapeted it? APC. They went back to bring Buhari in his 70s. And they brought Tinubu in his 80s, even though he's claiming 70s. But honestly, if you ask me to guess, I'll say maybe 90 plus. Now, such a party that is so dark is looking at another party that has light and is saying, these people are bringing recycled products. Yeah, because they want us to bring, you know why? These things are psychological attack. They want us to bring a baby politician so that they will eat him for lunch.
It's not just the presidency that is making this accusation. Even Nigerians are making this accusation.
I agree.
So when we look at you people and we see, we've been there. Rotimi Amechi was Minister of Transport. We are still alive.
Very good.
We saw all these people. John Oyegun was the very first chairman of the APC.
I agree with you.
We saw what they did when they were in office. Rauf Aregbesola, when he was
very good
Minister of Interior.
I concede.
How are they different now? Did old age make them better?
No. What happened is this. You are fighting an incumbent. So you would have to get a team that will match him. Otherwise, you're wasting your time. They are sharks. What do sharks do to small fishes? They swallow them. These people they have the war chest. They have the strategy. They have been tested. The only thing that will take power to the new generation is when you get a transitional leader who actually is sincere in transmitting power to the next generation. If Tinubu continues to do 8 years, have we gotten a young one? So the only thing is, if you get somebody that win him first, and you will give the condition of electing that person, that you have to transit to the younger generation. Otherwise, Tinubu will win again. And have you gotten the youths you're talking about?
The ADC is not without its problem. There's a court case. They say you entered illegitimately. They said you entered through the back door, and they have gone to court to find out if it's if what you've done is okay.
What is their local standing?
Well, they want an interpretation
that
the adoption that was done by the coalition of their party, if it was legitimately done.
Good.
Because they said they had pending cases. They are also arguing about the legitimacy of Ralph Nwosu to be able to do that, handing over. They said he hasn't been a member of the party, even though he's the founder.
Yes.
That there's a case that really doesn't give him the power to be able to do that.
All right. Now, let me tell you, because we did our due diligence.
Okay.
Every pending case against the leadership of ADC was resolved through ADR and was withdrawn. That's why you're not seeing about any old case. That's why you say they filed an action. So is there any old case that you have mentioned? This case is filed, the hand of Esau and the voice of Jacob. Why have they not filed the case? Fresh case against Mosu. Okay, now let me give you this example. You have been praying. You have been saying that Mosu has overstayed and that he should step down. And then he stepped down. And rather than you're rejoicing. Because if you had gone to court, court will say it's now an academic exercise because he has stepped down. Now again, they asked Kachuku Who is the chairman if not Nwosu? He said nobody. Can an organization operate without leadership? And he acknowledged that even INEC recognized Nwosu as the chairman, and that is why they are not in good terms with INEC. So what a third party needs to do if he wants to buy land in Abuja is to go to Aegis. And if the land is well documented in Aegis, he gets a good title. INEC, the supervisory organ of parties, recognize Nwosu as the chairman. There is no pending suit anymore. And then Nwosu and the whole NWC unanimously step down. When you hear adoption, there's nothing like that. What happened is that ADC, the entire leadership, resigned, and interim leadership was instituted. So what coalition did is, for coalition in ADC, they simply allowed new members. And of course, they don't even have a choice, because one of the reasons to be a political party is that your association must be open to every Nigerian to enter. They accepted that they want more and every Nigerian to come into their fold. And Nigerians came into their fold. And they believed it will be in the interest of ADC to utilize this opportunity and make it a platform for all the opposition parties to adopt. And simple. And is it not better for them? I don't know anybody who is from ADC.
They say
from my place.
Some people say that
yes, they are busybodies.
Some people say
yes, they are APC
yes,
people.
That Tinubu has well, not just them. Said they've infiltrated your party already.
And we know they will. So it is not a news. We said it beforehand. So we expected, and like I said, APC is peopled with, by men, and that has low intelligence. When they're not even smart. Because people should know that immediately ADC came in, they even told us and told the world, now we will start hearing litigation. And you're seeing litigation. A witch cried in the night and a child died in the morning. You can make the link yourself. Even if we go to any name you call, litigation will start the next day.
Well,
APC and their foot soldiers. They did it in Labour. They are doing it in PDP, the Almajeri party. Then they want to do it now in ADC.
Will they succeed?
Let me put it this way. Nigeria is the only place on earth where you cannot say anything with certainty because of dubious people in every sector. And that's why we are fighting. They should not succeed, but ADC has to do a lot amongst themselves. They must be united and they must speak with one voice. How can they succeed? Except the courts rule in an abracadabra way, assuming. Because a group of members that have not fought the party, then an adoption came and they filed suit. What is the content of their suit? That we came in through the back door. Do you come in through the back door in Nigeria? Is it a secret society? Because I heard that it is a secret society that some people use back to enter. It is open to every Nigerian. Political party, the constitution is clear, it's open. So how can somebody see a door that is wide open and he will go and start looking for back door? So it is a manipulation by APC and their cohorts to destabilize ADC. When God wants to bless a people, he makes your enemies to always come late and act late.